On today's show, did Toyota really just F up the Tacoma? Let's talk about it and discuss it because I'm kind of middle ground of whether this thing's a home run or not. So join in right now. If you're new to the channel, my name is David Boyd. I'm an auto journalist and I love midsize trucks. That's probably my favorite vehicle of all that we cover is midsize trucks. And I do actually have a Ranger Raptor on order that will be our next long-term vehicle, though I am not brand specific. So let's get into this one. The Toyota Tacoma. Now, this thing made its debut in Hawaii this year, and people went nuts. Well, we had an idea what it was going to look like. We thought, it's going to look similar to the Tundra, but I think they actually did a pretty good job on the design, giving it a little bit of heritage to the past, but yet kind of showing where we're going forward with this truck. And the big news coming out was that the four-cylinder was gone, and that kind of freaked some people out, but I believe not enough to make people go, no, I don't want that truck. So now that the build and prices are coming out, we're starting to see the price of this thing. We're starting to see the horsepower range that you're going to get with this truck initially. Now, I'm only talking about the current lineup because that's all we have in front of us, and we're going to speculate towards the end of this video, so you want to stick around for that. Toyota has brought the four-cylinders out. Now, this is nothing new. You know, we do have GMC, Chevrolet. They have a four-cylinder making 310 horsepower. We know that Nissan's got that V6 out there, a naturally aspirated V6 making 310 horsepower, and I have a feeling they might pump that up a little bit in the coming years. And then you've got, the new Ranger. You get a couple of engine options with it, one making 300 horsepower, the other making 315 horsepower. And that leaves Toyota was the last to reveal lay their cards down, and got around 270 horsepower. And if you want an SR, you're really crap out of luck because you're in the 220 range. Now, that would have been cool 10 years ago, but I think we're going to scare Toyota Elite off a little bit. I think once they get into this truck, they're going to realize, it sits nice, it drives nice. And then I think they're going to buy these trucks. And I think 4 to 6 months down the road, there's going to be a little bit of regret because the power issues are going to start kicking in with this thing. Now, when I say power issues, I don't mean like they've just built this weak truck that will not do anything truck-like. But knowing how the enthusiasts of the Toyota brand like to do with their trucks, a lot of overlanding, a lot of off-roading, it's a very loyal brand for the off-road market. I have a feeling that this little turbo four-cylinder might scare people off a little bit because, it seems underpowered with the brands I just talked about. Everybody else is well over 300 horsepower. And what does Toyota have for their initial lineup? You look at the off-road trim and you think, okay, $41,000, add another $10,000 to that if you want almost everything on the package, and you're at 50s, mid-50s for that truck. And now it's starting to look very underpowered because for mid-50s, I'm getting a Ranger Raptor, $57,000, and I should say it's upper mid-50s. But for $57,000, I'm getting a 400 horsepower Hellcat on wheels, man. And I'm not saying that these trucks will not be that because Toyota builds a badass truck. Don't get me wrong. But when you start comparing the price, you can look at the ZR2 from Chevrolet, and it's probably the best bargain out there for anything off-road if you want an off-road pickup truck, and it will still do truck things. 310 horsepower. I want to say you can get one for the later, 48, something like that. That's ridiculous. Now, whether you like that brand or not, much like any of these brands I talk about, it's all up to your opinion of whether you want to purchase that truck. But it's starting to come to the realization that Toyota might, with the pricing, might scare their loyal customers just a little bit because the midsize truck market, when this last version of the Toyota came out, there wasn't much competition. Nissan was always there, and that truck was old. And you had Toyota in 16 come out with theirs, and you had Ford had already done away with the Ranger at the time. Chevrolet was back and forth with the Colorado. Even the GMC that was built on the Colorado platform was not the truck it is today, and competition has stepped up. Has Toyota went far enough but kept prices in line? Now, the next thing I think where they could have kept prices in line are the facts that this truck is no longer American built. Now, obviously, the Toyota is a quality brand and they're going to build a quality product no matter where they go. But part of they were building them in Texas. Part of that was we need to move them to Mexico because the Tundra and Sequoia need to be on those lines. And we cannot build enough volume to satisfy those trucks. So we're going to move our highest volume truck down to Mexico. Well, labor's cheaper there. And I do not blame any manufacturer that is following where the cheaper labor is to the fact that they still jump these prices up incredibly high. I mean, 10 years ago, $17,000 would have bought you a very nice entry-level pickup truck. That's 10 years ago. and we've almost doubled the price for an entry level truck within 10 years. Now, yes, we could say you're in a recession right now. Inflation's through the roof. I understand those things, but they still need to keep costs in line. And between the cost of this thing, the lack of engine options and horsepower, I think that I'm 50-50 on whether this truck is going to continue to be the home run that it is. Now, 50-50. That doesn't mean I'm saying this truck is a bad truck. It's just for what I do, I'm projecting where I think the audience will be for this vehicle. And it's a little scary right now to think of all the stuff I'm reading on social media. People just upset about the price of this truck. In the comments below, are you upset about it? Did you want one of this? Can you get one? Because Toyota dealerships, I've talked to Toyota directly about this. They understand, and there's nothing they can do about it. Dealerships are independent, but markup for this truck is going to be ridiculous, probably for a year. And you'll find some good dealers out there, and you're going to find a lot of bad dealers out there that just want to take advantage of the situation. So that's the next thing about this truck is, can you find one? And if you do, inflation, high price of a vehicle already, and then you want to pay another 5,000 over this, and to be disappointed maybe 6 months down the road that this isn't the truck that you were hoping it would be. I don't know. I'm a little concerned by it. And then the last thing I want to talk about with this truck was the prices. But look at the off-road. So $41,000, you can add around $10,000. I believe that's almost a nearly loaded TRD off-road. And with a couple other pricings, you can get mid 50s for this truck. Once again, you can get some of the other brands, the ZR2 from Chevrolet, which is an off-road Hellcat. You get the Ranger Raptor, which is an off-road Hellcat. You know the TRD Pro is going to be an off-road Hellcat. But when you start looking at the prices of it and what you're not getting engine-wise, it's kind of concerning to me. Now, the last concerning part of this is we look at the lineup. I think they have too many in their lineup, for one thing. I understand the pre-runner. I don't think the pre-runner lasts. I think in a year and a half, that's gone. You don't see it anymore because people always talk a big game of wanting a pre-runner. And then much like diesel, they just never buy them. The realization of what you're getting. A lot of people want a pickup truck. You want four-wheel drive. Not everybody, but a lot of people. But I want to do this. So TRD off-road, $41,000. We're going to look at the Tundra. And you're thinking, Dave, why are we looking at the Tundra? Because the prices have been pretty in line with each other, which is kind of scary that the small truck is basically the same price as the big truck. I understand that there is a market that wants the smaller truck and they're willing to pay for it. But what really concerns me is where this spring Toyota is going to go with this one right here, the TRD Pro. Now, I've driven the TRD Pro for the past 2 years. We've done reviews on that truck. Amazing. I love that truck. The Tundra is my truck that I would pick out of anything right now. I love this truck a lot, though $72,000 for that truck is a little concerning to me when you look at the Raptor and, you know, some of the ZR2 and the Silverado and stuff. If you like the vehicle, go for it. I think it's a great truck. But what scares me is the pricing. The prices, if you look at the SR5, $36,000 for the little truck. Go over here to the SR5 for the big truck, $45,000. You can, once you start packaging them, they're pretty similar. The limited, $51,000 there. The limited is $52,000, with basically the only option you can add in the Tacoma is mud flaps. It's a little concerning to me, and that makes me think that the old TRD Pro, when it comes time for the little truck, which is this spring, I think we're going to see some prices in the 70 to mid 70s for that truck. And you're going to get a truck with the cool seats that basically is a two-seater because it won't be comfortable for anybody to sit behind you in those seats. And you're still only getting around 328 horsepower when all the other brands, once again, and I hate to keep comparing that, especially the TRD Pro to the Raptor. The Raptor horsepower and what you're getting for that truck, I have a feeling it's going to beat it all day long. And that makes me sad because I want every one of these trucks to have a truck that battles each other within a price. And if you get into the TRD Pro and the Tacoma in the $70,000 ranges, the Ranger and the ZR2 are really starting to look like bargains. And I do feel like they will adjust their prices accordingly. The big three will pay attention to how many they sell of this, and they'll start raising their prices. So in the comments below, where are you at with this? Are you concerned with the prices? Are you upset? Did you want one of these vehicles till you actually saw the build and price sheets? And did that scare you off? Or did that force you from maybe going into like the TRD off-road to maybe my budget's an SR5 and that's about as good as I can get? Once again, great trucks. I think anything in this lineup is going to be awesome. Pricing. We're living in a crazy world. So in the comments below, you know what to do. Let me hear it. Am I dumb? Am I not? Do you see my points? Only one way to find out. Respond to me. Smash that like button for me and think about giving a subscription. Once again, we talk all things off-road pickup trucks here. So you like that, you're gonna wanna hang around. So whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or this Toyota Tacoma, I really want to drive and buy, but I don't think I can afford it. This is Short All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.